Hey students, welcome to Learn Smarter and Remember Faster. So what we are going to learn today. So I'm again here with another video for your understanding of a very simple concept. Okay, so before that, I will love to tell you that please try to subscribe, share, and like it. Okay, definitely share with your friends. And yeah, this I mean, like, all this video will be of definitely of very good use to you. Okay, so today we are going to learn about a very interesting topic, and I hope that many of you will like it. Okay, so let's begin with the class today. Okay, so first of all, just look into the slide. Okay, so what you can see over here, so you can see that it's actually a house, right? It's a house made of what? To make a house, what is the thing which is extremely needed? Those are actually bricks, right? Right, those are actually bricks. Okay, those are actually bricks. A lot of bricks is actually forming the house, right? So if you get like everything, if you get like what to say, if you are getting rod, if you're getting wooden structures, if you're even getting cement, if you're getting, but the ultimate thing which with the help of which this total house is made up of this bricks, right? Now, here we can see bricks. Okay, a lot of bricks together will form what? It will form a wall. Okay, so once this wall is made, so if we just make few more walls, we can definitely get a structure where a person can live, right? Suppose I'm making 4 more wall-like structures. So what I'm getting something like this. Okay. So if I add few more, if I assimilate few more stuffs, few more like wooden things, like wooden, uh, what to say, wooden structures and few more these bricks, what we are getting? We are actually getting the house, right? So suddenly, all of a sudden, why I am just showing you the construction of this house? Why is it needed? So by looking into this slide, it is very much clear that a house is made up of what? It is made up of bricks, right? Which is actually needed. Sab kuch to hai, but brick is also needed. It is the mean which is giving it its structure. Okay, without brick, it won't be possible for us to make a house. Right, now why suddenly this house? I will just come to the analogy once I explain you the stuff. Okay, so over here, what you can see, you can see, you know what is it? It is actually a cross section of a cell. How does a cell look? It's an enlarged view of cell. Now, what is a cell? We will come to that. First, try to see it. Okay, but first try to understand it. What is this cell? Okay, so this cell is the cell. Okay, now think if a lot of cell comes together, what it will form? It will form something like this. We can see that it's an arrangement, right? It's a certain arrangement it is following, right? It is forming a certain structure. It is forming a proper structure and a proper arrangement, right? So upon this proper structure and proper arrangement of the cell, what it actually is forming, it is actually giving us a tissue. This is actually the picture of a tissue. Okay. So once all the cells are come together, they're forming definite tissues. So once the tissues are formed, then what? Then it is actually forming organs, right? Over here, I'm showing liver and heart. It doesn't mean that it only forms liver and heart. I have just given an example over here. Okay. So a single cell, from a single cell, there are many cells which is forming with the help of what? Division. Okay. So once a lot of cells are forming, what is happening? It is a lot of cell is forming, is getting accumulated, and they're forming a definite structure, a definite pattern. Okay. And what they're forming, they're actually forming a tissue. Okay. So once this tissue is formed, a lot of tissue, different types of tissue will form in different environments, and they will give rise to heart and what? And a liver. Once this heart and liver is formed, and once many more organs are formed, all these organs come together, all the necessary things come together, and that forms what? That forms a proper human being or a proper living organism. Okay. Since I am showing you this picture, doesn't mean that it should always be a human being. No. We also know the animals are there, which is also a living being, right? We also know that the, what to say, that plants are there, right? Okay. This world of biology is totally like, it's very mechanistic. When you will really come to know, you will be in love this world. Okay. So, did you understand the analogy? In the previous case, we have seen that a house is made up of building blocks, right? A house is made up of certain bricks and blocks. Similarly, a total human being is made up of smallest cells, right? Houses are made up of bricks. Bricks together is forming a wall. Similarly, a lot of cell is forming a tissue. And a lot of tissue gets accumulated and form an organ. Similarly, a lot of walls and structures are formed. Okay, and a more structures is being added, and it is actually giving rise to what? It is giving rise to a house, and in this case, a lot of organs and a lot of chemical reactions happening, and that is actually forming a human being. Though there is certain analogy. What is analogy? That the smallest thing over there is a brick, and in this case, it is a cell. But I know the biological system is very unique, it's very magical, and you know, uh, it's it's controlled in such a great way that you will be shocked when you literally will learn more and more about biology. Okay. So this is what cell is. So what we can tell about cell. Cell, yeah, what we can tell about cell? We can tell that cell is actually the structural and functional unit of life. Why it is structural unit of life? Because it is the foremost thing from where it starts dividing and it forms more number of cells. A lot of cells will give rise to tissue, right? From there, organs will form, and from there, a proper organism will form. And hence, we call it the fundamental structural unit of life. What about the function? Of course, when a cell is actually forming at a single cell, you can see a lot of stuffs over here, right? You can see a lot of stuffs over here, right? You can see here are few sausage like structures. Again, here are few sausage like structure. It looks like a pork or something. It is again looking like certain kind of noodles in a bowl, right? So there are many structures inside this cell, right? What are the use of this? We will definitely look into this in details in our next videos. But my point is that right now, what are the use of this? Even we can see like few kind of gems like structure, right? Inside it. What are all the use of this? Each and everything inside a cell is of certain use, and they have the capability to grow alone. Okay. Each cell has an independent existence and capability of forming the essential functions of life. Suppose if I'm telling you that we are taking a cell, right? Nowadays, you have heard about uh, artificial things are getting formed, right? Artificial organs are also getting invented, right? Right. Now, my point is that if you take this, right, our mother's womb is having, not mother's womb, our body is made up of many things, right? And over there, how the cell is growing. A cell has to grow to reach the state of human being, right? How is it growing? It is definitely getting a certain kind of nutrient. It is definitely getting a certain kind of optimal conditions, right? So what happened? Scientists try to take a single cell, okay, and they provide all the conditions needed for its growth, all the conditions needed for it, whether it is in terms of water, then in terms of nutrients which it need to survive, right? They're giving all. So once they're giving all, do you know what they observed? They observed that this total cell is able to grow in that media. What is media? It is a place where it is grown. Okay. So in that place, if I give all these things, all the stuffs together in an optimized solution, it was able to grow. How it was able to grow? Definitely, it was able to take all this food from, right? Agar if I'm just keeping you inside a house, right? I'm just locking you into a room. अगर मैं तुमको दिन ब दिन खाना पीना सब कुछ प्रोवाइड कर रही तो you are surviving. Why? Because you are getting all the necessary things, right? Just like it, if I give it all the necessary things required to function properly, it will start to grow. So this is the reason it has been told over here that it has an independent existence and has the capability of performing the essential functions of life. What are the essential functions? The essential functions, number one is what? The food which you are getting to get energy from it, right? The water you are getting to take the water to what? Why water is needed? To perform a good homeostasis balance, right? So they have seen that cell do have the capability of an independent existence and can perform the essential functions of life in a very nice manner. Every cell has its own life. How what do you think? Why? How do you think that every cell has its own life? When? Why? Like nowadays it is not like very unknown to us. You can see thousands of cosmetic brands appearing in the TV, right? Scrubs are there, which is showing to remove the dead cells. So have you ever thought कि dead cells वहां तक आता ही कैसे है? People are giving scrubbings, people are making body washes, people are using soaps, right? तो have you ever thought कि वहां पे dead cells ये वो आता ही कैसे है? Because each and every cell has its own life. Okay, what they do, old and weak cells in the body continually die and are replaced with new cells. There is one fact that if you just go on like just grooming your house, you will find it was in find that 95% or 70 to 80% of the dust are of dead cells of human beings. Each and every day the dead cells are there. Each and every cell has its own lifespan. Okay, each and every day they die. Each and every day a new cell is being formed. The die cells, to remove that die cells, it is being told कि हमको हर दिन नहाना चाहिए. we should need to go with scrubbing. अगर नहीं करेंगे तो क्या होगा? Bacteria, fungus, ये सब करेंगे. Why? Because bacteria and fungus, these all things are depending upon the dead cells, right? They depend upon the dead cells, right? So old and weak cells in the body continually die and are replaced with the new cells. Okay. Now the point over here is that how can we see this? All organisms, including our cells, start alive as a single cell called the egg. Just take an example of a poultry or take an example of any bird. Can you see an egg they are forming? Isn't it very unique that how from an egg a same kind of organism is coming out? Whether if it's a snake will come out. If it's a chick will come out. Even if it's a bird, crow, it will come out. Even it's a coil bird will come out. How? Even from human being, a human comes out. Each and every each and every one of us start our life from a single cell. ये जो सेल देख रहे हैं, it's a one cell, ठीक है? ऐसे सेल से हमारा लाइफ शुरू होता है. Okay. Now the point is that how can we see the cell? We see ourselves daily. Can we see any cell? Can we see any cell? हम तो हर दिन अपने आप को मेकअप लगा रहे हैं. We are there in the front of mirror, right? तो क्या हम अपने आप में सेल देख सकते हैं? The answer is that no. It is so small. You can't see through the naked eye. You need a magnifying thing to watch it, right? So a lot of magnification is needed to watch it. You can't just see it in your naked eye. So here we will talk about the discovery कि कैसे देखा जाए, कैसे क्या हो, right? So here we can see it's actually a very old simple microscope which was being used by Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Okay. Antony van Leeuwenhoek was the person who actually invented this microscope. Okay. Now he has basically constructed 400 microscopes. All are made up of simple biconvex lens and are called as simple microscopes. So why simple microscope? क्योंकि इस microscope में बस एक ही lens है. वो भी कहाँ है? This is the portion where you can see that. It is actually the back view of the microscope. ठीक है? Front view is the other side. You think ना तुम क्या इस needle के सामने अपना आँख रखोगे? अगर तुम लोग needle के सामने आँख रखोगे, there is a chance कि you might go blind if your hand moves here and there, right? So this is actually the back view. तुमको और एक side से देखना पड़ेगा. The back side, ठीक है? You have to see from the front side. The back of the structure is the front side. ठीक है? वहाँ से देखना पड़ेगा. This is actually the place. तुम्हारा आँख जो तुम रखोगी वो दूसरे side में होगा. And this is the place where you have to keep the sample. Then you have to go for magnifying. Some of this simple microscope has considerable magnifying power. So it was being told that Antony van Leeuwenhoek actually constructed 400 microscopes. Okay, from there, a few of the microscopes are there which are actually giving a magnifying power of up to 200 times. This is the lens, and this is a needle where the sample is placed. Okay. Now, this is one type of microscope which you have seen, made up of simple biconvex lens. What about this? This is actually a compound microscope. And Robert Hooke was the person who developed this microscope by using two lenses. Two lenses means greater magnification. So such microscopes were later known as compound microscopes. Okay. Now, what Hooke actually examined, Hooke took the cork of a tree and tried to observe under the microscope. What he observed something like this, right? From here, it is very much clear that why I have given the example of brick. You can see that each and everything over here is a cell which are in a certain arrangement. See, See, cork. Cork means what's a dead. That's why you can see something like this over here. It's actually a dead cell, total dead cell. Okay. See, can you see? These are all the corks. They're forming a certain arrangement. Okay. So this cork has been placed under the microscope, and it was being he was being able to observe some kind of structure over here. That's a brick kind of structure, right? Brick-like structure. You can see. Hmm? That's why he stated in his observation that it was made up of box-like compartments piled up together. So he said that cork is made up of cells. The cells which Hooke saw were all dead cells, because cork is definitely a dead thing. Okay. So somehow he was able to see the cell whether it's dead or alive. He was able to see the cell with the help of which the structure and functional unit of life. So thanks a lot, kids, for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I will definitely come with few more videos, which will be really, really helpful for your exams as well as for your understanding. Thanks a lot. Bye. Take care.